Hey guys, this is Unpunk bringing you a video here today. So this is going to be covering some new information we got about the new DLC, The War Machine, coming to World War II Zombies here this next week on April 10th. This is some good information. So we have the trophies are now revealed to us, which shows all of the trophies that come to zombies. As we know, multiplayer doesn't have trophies to earn. So we're going to start from the bottom up, and we're going to discuss each trophy here. This gives us a lot of information about some of the melee weapons and their features. This also gives us information about the new Wonder Weapon, and I got some amazing speculation on that. And why I think it's going to be very, very similar to how the Entangler worked from Beast from Beyond. So that's why the title is going to say Entangler 2.0. So don't think I'm clickbaiting. I'm gonna have some information to back it up here in just a second. So we're gonna start with Lumberjack. So it says in the Shadowed Throne, kill a Wusling using each melee weapon in a single match. So recently, Cameron Dayton posted up on Twitter a response to someone asking about the new melee weapons and how they're going to work, if they're going to work like Raven and Redwood's weapons, or how they're going to work. And he responded with, each one's going to be unique. Well, let me find exactly what he said so I can quote him word for word. So he says, melee weapon variety is one of the coolest new features in the Shadowed Throne. Unique attacks, strike speeds, and damage patterns mean your crew can mix it up in their hand to hand. So I assume this is going to be an item you can either easily equip or you're going to start with. I believe it's going to be very similar to Rave and the Redwoods due to some of these trophies, one being or kill a Wustling in each one, and there's another one later on that tells you to go a certain amount of rounds using only the melee weapon. So I assume you're going to either start with it at random by character, or you can pick it up somewhere in the first round or so. But this is going to be pretty easy to do. I think some of the melee weapons will do a lot more damage based off that tweet to the Wuslings, and some will do a lot less, but will be way quicker. I think that they're going to be, speed is going to be a big crucial part of which ones are more effective against certain types of zombies. But that's going to be basically that Lumberjack trophy. Obviously, no one has earned any of these trophies as they're not out yet, so don't worry about that. You're not going to have to... There's no leaks this time. There's nothing like that coming out around this DLC. This is all just the information they're giving us, which is really awesome, and I think it's going to bring a great replayability to the map without having any leaked content. The next one is Equal Opportunity Destroyer. So it says, in the Shadowed Throne, collect Geistcraft from each zombie type in a single match. This is the one I was talking about, which I believe is describing the new Wonder Weapon as the Entangler. As you saw from the trailer that was released this last Tuesday, the new Wonder Weapon seems to shoot a beam like electricity that was red, possibly because it was upgraded to a Blood Raven style like they did on the Final Reich, or it could just be the base version that could possibly have upgrades. We don't have a lot of information on it at this time, but we do know that based on this trophy that we can pretty much assume and put the pieces together that you're going to be collecting using this new Wonder Weapon, and I believe that is true because it says collect Geistcraft from each zombie type in a single match. If you translate Geistcraft from German to English, it means spirit force, which is another way of saying soul, which is, I believe, how we're going to be collecting their souls to have a purpose, which is really, really awesome, and I'm very excited that's a new feature. I think it's going to be similar to the collecting spines, but hopefully a little easier to do and have a more multitude of uses rather than just a few zombies for the main Easter egg. Next, we have a hidden trophy. The first one here is a silver trophy. It says, this belongs in a museum. In the Shadowed Throne, while inside the museum, kill 250 zombies with the blade in a single match. After knowing the pommel is a Wonder Weapon kind of type secondary that you can use in the Darkest Shore, and it is somewhat through the Easter egg that you collect that nearly at the end, this can be assumed that the blade is going to be the last part for the sword that we need, or one of the last parts for the sword that we need to complete it, and it will possibly be an item we can get after completing all 3 Easter eggs. as a mini super Easter egg, or it could possibly just be something that comes in DLC 3 and 4, something along those lines. We might not get access to it now, but I believe this is going to be some form of weapon we are going to be used. Not sure if it's going to be something we can hold and it will allow us to then create the sword and use that sword in the game that we have the third part collected, or something along those lines. But that's all up to speculation at this point. But it will be some kind of way to damage the zombies we now know, and it's probably going to have a similar damage to the pommel, maybe a little higher, maybe a little less. I'm not sure how it will go, but leave a comment what you guys think in the description that this will mean. I know this is a little lengthy, so hang tight here. We're going to go through each one in good depth so we get the best information out for you. Not a Prayer is the next one. It says in the Shadowed Throne, after round 20, survive at least 2 full rounds without anyone leaving the church. This doesn't mean too much to us. We don't have a lot of information on the church. I don't think we've even seen gameplay of the church yet, but it does tell us that there's a church area, which I'm very excited about. I remember seeing outside the map on the Darkest Shore there was a church, and it looked like a very cool broken church that possibly could have been a early item that was supposed to be added into last DLC that they pushed onto the next, so maybe we could have it modeling after that. Not sure yet, but that's pretty cool. I'm sure you can find gameplay of it if you guys look up on YouTube. I don't want to post anything that's outside the map. I just did it for educational purposes to see what they had out there, but not to break the game for any kind of benefits. Next trophy we have is called Ammo Conservation. So this one's a silver trophy as well. It says, in the Shadowed Throne, obtain the blade without firing a gunshot. I assume this is going to be, like I said earlier, the pommel-like achievement for, you know, getting to the pommel without doing whatever it was on the Darkest Shore. I can't recall if there was a challenge directly related to that. But in this case, we know that these new wonder weapon melees, whatever you want to call them, these new melee weapons we're going to have are going to be good enough and most likely going to be pack-a-punchable, or just good enough, and then you can get the melee perk to be able to survive long enough to do this step in the Easter egg, wherever this will be. I assume somewhere around the halfway to 2/3 through mark would make the most sense for giving us a bonus for completing a portion of it. Next we have putting on a show. In the Shadowed Throne, keep a I don't know how to say that, so I'll quickly try and translate that using Google Translate here. I'm not sure how to say that, so it means cooked. So we now know that that is the cooked zombie. So it says in the Shadowed Throne, keep a cooked zombie alive on stage for 1 minute. I'm assuming the stage is in the theater area, which we've seen a few bits about in the trailers and the images off the Call of Duty Classified website, which I'm sure you can find if you look up as well. There's some new classified stuff. I didn't cover it because it wasn't very big information, just a couple screenshots that are kind of teasers, so I don't know if a lot of people want to see that, so I didn't want to put it out there as a leak or anything like that. This is going to be how you're going to be able to say this word so that we can know.
Gekocht.
Gekocht. So I'm not going to be able to say that probably right for the majority of this map, but hang tight with me. A gekocht, alive. I tried to put in that little accent there. We got the something wonderful, and it's spelled like I don't know, that's a weird way of spelling that. I'm assuming that's something in German. In the Shadowed Throne, kill 50 Geocha with a special weapon in 1 match. I believe the special weapon is the new wonder weapon. As you see in the trailer, they're shooting that lightning towards those guys. So that seems like what they're going to be calling it, or maybe they're going to have a full name in game. We just they don't want to spoil it for us here in the trophies. So that looks really cool and probably not too difficult to do, depending on how hard it is to get that wonder weapon. Ballistics be damned. In the Shadowed Throne, reach wave 15 using only melee weapons. Again, pretty simple sounding trophy. If we get to start with them or get them close to the start for those melee weapons, should be pretty easy. After that, we have the Das Itzguth. I don't know how to say that. That was my best butcher of that I could do. In the Shadowed Throne, find the Uberspregen, I think is how you say that. We're gonna translate this real quick and see if you guys, see if we can figure out what this means in English. It means it's good. That trophy means it's good. So you're just saying it's good to find it. It doesn't look like any of the early gameplay that people has had any of the Pack-a-Punch. I don't think anyone found it from what I've been hearing around the Twitter cycle of people posting. They gotta go experience the map early, so that's really awesome, and that's gonna be a nice find for the community. It's not gonna have any early tutorials out by anyone, so that's really nice to have. Next, we have the Stadtjager down. This is going to be the full Easter egg trophy. It says in the Shadowed Throne, defeat the blank. I don't know how to say that, so I'm not even going to try until I translate this. So we're going to try this. This means City Hunter, and this is how you say it.
Stadtjager.
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 Stadtjager. So that's going to be the name of the new boss, I believe. So maybe the one we saw in the trailer. Maybe that is what that is, the Stadtjager, which would be kind of a little bit disappointing in my opinion if they made that the boss and they showed us it already, but it still looks really awesome and looks like a hard thing to defeat. So that's going to be all of the trophies. I know this was a lengthy video. Definitely drop a like if you guys are super excited for this map. Drop a like if you're only partially excited. Drop a like if you hate the game, because you guys are awesome and you support me. So thank you guys again for all the crazy support recently. We're going to have a new channel trailer up shortly here in the next couple of days, with the fact that I will be having some differences in live stream times and content updates and when they'll be, so you guys can know when on the channel you're going to find what, a little more structure for you guys. And that's going to be it for you guys. Subscribe if you guys are new and love zombies or Fortnite content, because we got both here on the channel. And we're going to see you guys in a video real soon. Peace.